all of these initiatives to make everything convenient are about just a couple of things. Consumption is one of them, and control is the other. So if we're busy consuming, it's very easy for the people at the top to have the ultimate control, and that's what they want. For me, there was a silver lining in COVID, and that was that it woke many people up. I think, the era of the United States being the free beacon that it was is over. I hope that we can reclaim it, but to think that it is the freest place in the world is just delusional.
Defending non-KYC Bitcoin is actually the only thing that matters in Bitcoin right now. Can you say more about that?
Yeah, so this is a hot debate in Bitcoin. Privacy is a hot topic. And I have to admit, I was pretty ignorant to the privacy concerns. I mean, obviously, in some ways, the visibility of Bitcoin transactions is a feature. Because if you're talking global settlements and government funding and all of that, having visibility into all of that, I mean, that's what we want, right? Like, audit it. But when we're talking about our money, it gets a little bit different. And we have to be careful that we don't allow too much surveillance. So one of the things that I had to do when I got my role, because of the way that we are regulated, is I had to do an AML KYC training.
AML is anti-money laundering, for those of you who don't know. KYC is know your customer. It's the identification process.
That's right. And all of these alphabet regulations, I didn't know anything about them, and I didn't want to know, right? Ignorance is bliss, but it's not good. And my concern is the amount of anti-money laundering rules and regulations that have already been applied to the industry, and the fact that when we KYC the sats that we're buying, we're attaching our information to those sats, and therefore all future transactions. Now I get a lot of heat for this. People want to say Bitcoin doesn't care, but again, this sort of comes back to you're subject to the rules and regulations of the government that you live under. And those governments are very threatened, and when people feel threatened, they increase their power and they claw at you. And we have to be really careful what we agree to, So all of the on-ramps, I don't know where you buy your Bitcoin. You convert your fiat into Bitcoin, right? Well, in most cases, certainly in the United States, when you're doing that, you're KYCing. And when you're KYCing your Bitcoin, there are ways in the future to obfuscate that, but they've already made some of those ways illegal. And of course, you can do them anyway, but you have to be willing to go to jail if they start enforcing that more significantly. If all of our Bitcoin is KYC'd, then they know everything that we're doing.
Yeah.
And if they make it illegal to sort of un-KYC it.
Yeah, and that's something we should think about, and I think the industry definitely should look at innovating around privacy. And in October last year, Edward Snowden was talking about that in Amsterdam. He was saying, I've been blowing that horn for a long time, and people don't get how critical that is. And I think we're at that point.
We are at that point. And I think a lot of people who have not been subject to the training involved in that surveillance, there's a lot of people, they have no idea that it's going on. And so if you don't know what's happening, it's really hard to be overly concerned about something, right?
Yeah, but I think just by saying that, we raised awareness for the topic, and you should go and do your research.
Go and do your research. AML laws, if you look at a lot of the people that have been put in jail, it's all done under the guise of anti-money laundering. And so they're going to use that for more and more regulation and restriction and,
And obviously we're not calling anyone to break the law.
Absolutely not.
Right. But we're just making people aware of that really, really important topic.
Yeah, we're not doing anything criminal, so we don't want to be labeled criminals.
Exactly. I'm just going to end with one cool question. What would you like to see happen in the world, and how do you think this can happen?
I would like to see more free countries or free regions arise. And I would also like to see, I want to go back to that time period when the internet was early, and we interacted with people in real life. I want to go
like
back to that.
Like
yeah, like
physical.
hi. Like the Bitcoin events are so incredible because it's like, it's real. I'm here with you. I can hug you, you know, and we need more of that. We need more of like real life, bring community back, you know, bring like real friendships and connections and communities. I think that that's lacking in a lot of people's lives. And
I agree.
It's sad.
We're so addicted to these things, and we don't realize how much it takes over.
Yeah.
So free cities, free communities, free people.
Yeah.
So you've heard Bitcoin is the new gold rush by now. As world leaders on all sides have endorsed it as the future of money, and now you're looking to get started, we'll show you how. It's actually easier than you think. First, go to your nearest Byte Federal ATM and turn your cash to coin. Byte Federal has over 1,200 locations around the country with the highest daily limits. Go to our website, bytefederal.com, to find the nearest ATM to you. Log in to any wallet, then create an account, deposit your US cash, and instantly convert it to Bitcoin. That's it. We are the only US manufacturer and operator in the Bitcoin ATM industry, and our US-based live customer service is second to none. Go on, give it a whirl, and don't get left behind. Click the link below.